basic fundamental needs in mathematics. And one of the things that we want to study or discuss is what we call polynomials. Most of the times when we mention this topic, a lot of people think it's an advanced topic. But the truth is that you deal with polynomials almost every day. Everyone, whether you study maths or not, whatever you're doing, we all deal with polynomials. It is very important to understand it, it's important to apply it or apply it properly. So I'm going to give the scary definition of a polynomial, but I'm going to take my time to explain it. So if you want to define what a polynomial is, a polynomial in X, it's an expression of the form this So this is quite scary for anybody. I'm sure you may want to run away from the video just to say this, but I'm going to explain everything to your understanding. So this is what I might refer to as a polynomial expression. Polynomial expression simply because we don't have. But if I put equals to 0 here or whatever, any number, this is a polynomial equation. But generally, we can call that a polynomial function. I will explain everything here. The first thing I will explain is the an. You see an, we see an minus 1, like that till we get to a naught. Please, these are simply coefficients. They are called coefficients. They are just numbers, they are real coefficients. Coefficients, they can be real numbers, they can be complex numbers. So they can be real numbers, they can also be complex numbers. So these are what we refer to as the real coefficients. The x there, the x we see the xn minus 1 up till we get to x raised to the power of 0, which is actually 1, are what we refer to as the variables, the unknowns. So we call this a polynomial function in x because these are the unknowns. And the next thing we have there is the plus sign, which can plus, it can also be a minus sign. So the n then, please, the n has to be positive integers. It has to be positive integers. Please take note. Not negative, positive integers. I really want to take time to make you understand what a polynomial is. So I'm going to explain everything about a polynomial. So these are positive integers, not fractions, please. They are not fractions and they are not negative, because if they are negative, it fails to be a polynomial. It will start having, if they are fractions, you can start having radicals. But what we are discussing is just polynomial. But I would like to make you understand the polynomial by giving an example. This is an example of a polynomial. I'm sure you're surprised. That's actually a polynomial, 5x. There, our a raised to the power a subscript n, this a subscript n is simply 5, which is a number you know very well. And we have x raised to the power 1. So this is a polynomial. Very simple. And most times we call this a monomial. A monomial because it's single. You just have the coefficient, you have the variable, you have the power, which is 1. So if I add another one to this, I can get to have a binomial, maybe raised to the power of 2. So this is a polynomial. This is the a naught and the a n minus and all this description you see, that is the 3 here. So this is like my a n and this is like my a n minus 1. So this is like the power I have here, this can be 2, instead this can be 1. So you see that I have n, which is 2 here, I have n minus 1, which is 2 minus 1. And this is simply a polynomial expression. So, but you have something like 2 over x plus 3x raised to the power of 3 over 2. This is not a polynomial. This is not a polynomial. So I'm sure this young man is carrying something on his head, and this is not a polynomial. So this is not a polynomial. So it is not a polynomial because here you're having a fraction as a power, and then you're having 2x raised to the power minus 1, and minus 1 is negative, so this is not a polynomial. So polynomials, we have some that have special names. You have you see something like ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. This one is very popular, and I'm sure you're watching this video, you've heard of quadratic equations. This is a quadratic equation. A quadratic equation is actually a polynomial. It's a type of polynomial. So all quadratic equations are polynomials. So this is a polynomial which you know very well. You have something like ax plus b equals to 0. This is a linear equation. So this is quadratic because the highest power you have here is 2. This is linear because the highest power you have here is 1. So this is a quadratic. This is a quadratic equation, and this is a linear equation. It's linear. This is quadratic. So we have other ones like this is the power of 1, this is the power of 2, the power of 3. We can write something like ax cubed plus bx, this is cube, plus bx squared plus cx plus d equals 0. This is called a cubic. So this is called a cubic equation. This is a cubic equation. It is actually a polynomial also. The quadratic is also a polynomial, the linear. So we have the next one, which is the quartic. We have another next one, which we have the quintic equation, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to go deep into that. So the power of 5 is quintic, the power of 4 is quartic, and so on and so forth. We have so many powers, but as long as they have this form, powers are positive, the powers are not fractions, and again you have the coefficient. The coefficient can also be complex number. I have a video on YouTube already which has the complex number. You can check and study complex numbers. But this is just basically the definition of polynomials. So what next after polynomials? We talk about the algebra of polynomials. What do we mean by the algebra of polynomials? How do we add, multiply, divide polynomials? That is the algebra of polynomials. It is very important for you to study that. For the remaining part of this first video, I'm going to discuss the addition of polynomials. So we'll start by the addition of polynomials. So what we do in addition of polynomial is that we simply look for like terms. So we add and subtract coefficients of like terms. We add and subtract coefficients of like terms. I will solve a simple question to show you the addition of polynomials, and in the next video we'll talk about multiplication and also addition of that. So we'll do that very fast, so we'll round up the first part of this video. So let's suppose we have 3x squared plus 6x plus 9 as the first polynomial, p1 of x, and we have another polynomial, let us say q1 of x as a q of x as 4x plus 5. So these are two polynomials. I can add them. What if we have p of x plus q of x? What we simply do is just to add like terms. It is obvious that these and these are like terms, and these are like terms. These are single numbers, or 9x is power 0, 5x is power 0, this is 4x, this is 3x, they are like terms. This one does not have any other like terms, so we leave it like that as 3x squared. We add this 6x plus 4x, obviously 10x. And finally 9 plus 5 will give us 14. So that is the answer to the sum of these two polynomials. So that is just about the elementary algebra of polynomial when you have to do addition. So we'll talk about multiplication and division in the next video.